end of my PZ networks, I call them underscore layers. So in this case, it will be,
Can you repeat that?
yeah. So this is how I name fridge shape, fridge textures.
So, for example, because most likely if the character is walking out outside and you're walking up to the car, then you're only really going to see the front and view.
It's going to go to my source images.
Yeah.
High resolution, and then in the back, as you go further back, it can decrease the resolution.
Would we be able to send them a sample of it, half where the side that we'll never see is super low res, and then the other half?
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay.
There is did you set the project? So if I save, okay, it's going to save it in the source images for this project?
I have not set the project.
Okay. Yeah, it's going to your documents.
Just desktop.
Desktop. Okay. All right. So.
I'll get lost in my documents.
Okay. So we're gonna go create, and as soon as you create, it's gonna send it to Photoshop.
Okay.
It's gonna launch Photoshop. Theoretically.
I should be able to.
Yeah. So in Photoshop, I tend to apply a texture, just a quick grid, and then I can see what the resolution is going to look like. This makes sense, right? Not that hard. Does this make sense?
Yeah.
It's a little bit complicated, but once you do it once, it makes sense. And again, don't hesitate to go to our videos, to our Fullerton College YouTube videos. I show you guys how to do every single part of this.
Yeah.
You just have to listen to my knowing voice for hours.
You have a beautiful voice.
Thank you. Thank you.
And rehear the.
Yeah. Can't read the new document preset files. Why is that? So here's your UVs. It creates the UVs for you.
Okay.
Okay. So it'll put the UVs in one layer, theoretically. Okay. So you see how we're doing this guy right now. We're doing this guy.
With the fridge.
This one here, right? So no, we're doing the fridge.
We're doing the fridge.
Yeah. So you see your UVs. It puts the UVs in its own layer. You can turn on and off. You're gonna put your textures right. Oh, it did not send our interesting. Look at this. It did not send.
You know what? My Maya, I don't have one of the more recent patches. I think I'm having a problem with my texturing.
That was one of the fixes. Okay. Take it to service pack 1. You should be fine. Yeah, because it did not recognize the color. One thing that we can do is we can go to our here. Let's go to the attribute editor, UV texture 2. It says that it's got a color, which is really interesting. Well, you look at that. The transparency is in a layer. That's bizarro. Okay, when you're here, if you want to, you can select this. You can go to edit. It'll take you to Photoshop. Okay, so this is where you're gonna. This is wrong because this is.
I almost guarantee it's my computer.
Okay, so since I'm an amazing artist, I'm gonna do this. Save, right? Go Control Save, and then when you go into Maya, right? Maya will try to update it. So here's Maya. If it doesn't update, what you can do is you can click on Reload, and there it is.
Oh.
Okay. So now if I go 6 in here, let me hit F. Let me zoom in. Now, when you get close to your character, are you comfortable with the texture? You know, if it looks good, you're fine. If not, you know, then you have to work at a higher resolution. So again, but this right here, you want to, in Photoshop, you can go to image size, and go to pixels. So this is 2K, all right? But as you can see, let me show you something real quick. I'm going to do the text tool, theoretically.
Is it because of the resolution?
So what part is this? Is the back. So is this part right here. So we can do test.
It looks like a satanic symbol for some reason.
It does, right? I went so fast. Yeah, my girlfriend did say I was possessed though. Okay, save this. I'm on a PC, Frank. And then go over here, do a reload, and we should get something that says text. I think
See it in the layer.
yeah, it's reloading. Sometimes you need to merge text layers. It doesn't understand them. Save them. See, we can go over here. See how these sentences right here? There we go. So, I mean, look how close you can get to the point where you're like, wow, this is really good. So theoretically, you could cut this texture in half. Let's test it out. So let's go to image. I'm going to save, okay? Oh, it's already saved. I'm going to go to image size, and I'm going to cut it in half. So I'm going to go 2048, so 1020.
Yeah.
I'm going to hit OK. All this is going to get redone. I'm going to save it. 1, 2, 3. Okay, it's already saved. So I'm going to go here. I'm going to click reload. Let's say this is the closest our character gets, right? It never gets any closer. I'm going to reload it. Okay, it got a little bit blurry, but can you live with this?
Yeah.
If you're fine with it, then you're going to go twice as fast because the texture now is half the size. And that's how you test it to the point where you're like, ooh, that's really pixelated, and then you go up. If you need to go up, in this case, because since we did it, I'm using the Maya. I'm like, what? It's Alt middle mouse. What the hell? Okay, so then you go to your history, and then you move up to right before you change the image size, which will double your image.
The worst part of all the different software.
I know. Beauty of I love Keyshaw. It works like Maya. And then again, hit reload, and our texture will get better.
I love it when I'm trying to show somebody something and I switch softwares and I'm like, I can't do anything.
Yeah, especially when you go from 3D packages to Photoshop, you're like Alt middle mouse. Oh, spacebar. Try teaching like 2 classes.
Now, how about if we will see the front of the fridge, we will not see the back of the fridge?
No, because he did not overlap the UVs. Yeah, you can see it. See?
Well, I meant more so in resolution, like we don't care what the back looks like.
No, again, so the back, since we're never going to see it, you can take that UV, that shelf, and you can shrink it. Does that make sense?
But isn't that going to mess with?
If you're not going to see it. I don't recommend it. I usually keep everything the way it is, but you know how when you do humans, usually the body is one size and the face is always really, really big? That's because we look at the face all the time,
yeah.
Right? But sometimes when you have a pouch in the back, what they do is they take that shelf and they make it really small so that you can make the body bigger.
But if there's a pattern, isn't it going to?
If there's a pattern, yes. But if this is this to me looks like a rusted refrigerator, then it's just a matter of making it look like it's all rusty and all that stuff, you know.
Okay.
At the bottom, you're never gonna see it, so I would shrink that shelf, tiny. All it needs is to use one little pixel, you know. Like that's why usually the bottom, bless you, the bottom of shoes usually is like they shrink it to the point so tiny, and you paint with 1 pixel, but you have all that room now that you can expand something bigger where you want to see detail. It looks good, Brian. Really good job, man. Very impressed.
Thank you.
Must have had a really good Maya teacher.
But this stuff too is the models are Serena's.
Yeah.
She
Yeah.
really fast.
Yeah. She did really good. Did she have fun?
Yeah.
Very good.
She doesn't want to focus on 3D anymore. She wants to focus on 2D. So we're giving it to Brian.
Nice.
I
Excellent.
think I might just like do like both 2D and 3D. So
Yeah.
Always do both, man. It develops your brain better, and you get to be faster. You can do quick models in 3D, and then use, screen grab, and then do trace over, and then people are they're gonna think that you have the most amazing control and perspective in the world. You're like, yeah. That's how I roll. When I did those props for Warner Brothers, I used their 3D models and then used drew on top of them. They're like, oh my God, you're amazing with vehicles. And I'm like, I know. That guy's the best. You know, and I'd be like walking really slow. And then you get stuck doing vehicles, which pay twice as much. So yeah, it's a little. A lot of people don't know that a lot of designers use 3D Maya just to. It's like when you do a character, right? It's hard to get. You guys have noticed doing 3D models from turnarounds, right? Unless you're amazing doing turnarounds, when you model based on a turnaround, it never comes out right. It's the nature of 2D. It just flattens things. But when you do a quick body, when I do a human that I'm gonna do a turnaround, right? I usually start with a 3D model. I pose it, and then what I do a screen grab on the side, on the front, and then I draw on top of it.
Isn't there a software out there for 2D artists? It's like similar to the sketchbook, but it gives you a 3D model so you can rotate it and then draw on top of it.
It's called Design Doll is one of them. The one that everybody's using is Moho, which used to be called Anime something, and it has a mannequin that you can pose.
Yeah.
And then people draw on top of it. The Japanese have been doing that for ages.
That's
for
cool.
ages, and that's why we were like, oh my God, all that anime design is awesome. They use puppets.
Cool. Awesome. Thank you so much.
Is Moho spelled?
Moho. It's by it's by the same people that make what is that really cheap Poser. You know Poser?
Interesting.
Yeah. It used to be called Anime Studio, and then they had Anime Studio Pro, and now it's called Moho.
Oh, is it the animation? Is it the complete animation? I found that.
Going in a completely
Awesome.
different direction.
Studio. Oh. Clip Studio. Oh.
Yeah, Clip Studio Pro. That's the name of it. Sorry. Moho is their animation program. Sorry. The program's called Clip Studio Pro, and it used to be called Anime Studio Pro, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which,
That's the one with the puppets.
so I'm planning.
Oh yeah. I remember. I remember seeing an artist.
Yeah.
That was streaming, and he was using Clip Studio, and he was also using the 3D puppets to draw the pose.
They have a generic man and a generic woman, and then they have sliders where we can have a bulky male, a skinny male. You can do the different body parts. You can make a huge head. Yeah, but the Japanese have been using that program for almost 20 years. Yeah.
Oh wow.
Yeah, it's and the beautiful thing about Clip Studio Pro is that you can work vector or bitmap. So your lines can be as clean as Illustrator or as Photoshop.
So
That's really cool.
for the workflow on Eugene, I'm going to do coloring in 3D Coat.
Okay.
So would I take everything over into 3D Coat, do all that, bring it into Maya, and then export to Photoshop in order to change the size?
No. In 3D Code, there's a I've never used it, but there is a 3D Code to Photoshop transition.
Okay.
Yeah. For these, you may want to just try do them in Photoshop really fast. You know.
I'm not fast at Photoshop.
Okay. Yeah, then stick to 3D Code.
I really wish that there was a Photoshop specific for beginners here, and not like.
There is. It just literally went through curriculum today. I just finished the class, I get it approved, and I launched it.
Gee,
It's
if
called,
only there was.
I know. It's called Introduction to Photoshop for Digital Arts. And so you know how Dart 100 is going to become not a prerequisite but a requirement.
Yeah.
We want to give people the option. If you're going to be a designer, you stick to Introduction to Photoshop. But
I wish that was more.
I know. Trust me, because I've had.
That was such a waste of time.
When I was teaching my digital painting class, 80% of the people did not know Photoshop, and I was like, oh shit, I gotta teach Photoshop and how to paint. Yeah. Trust me, I wish. That's why I still feel like, oh, I need to write this class. If not, I'm gonna start murdering people.
So when is that class going to be available?
You know, in a year from now. I know. Trust me, I'm more frustrated than you guys are because for 1 year I have to teach Introduction to Digital Painting, Digital Drawing with students that don't know how to use Photoshop because they're not making those as requirements, which is they should.
it's hard for me because like it's the apple on the end of the stick,
Yeah.
and it's like I'm
If-
going to graduate in 2 years. No, I'm not. This
Yeah.
class I really want to take is going to be next year.
I know,
There's
I know.
another class I really want to take in 4 years. Oh, there's another class.
But also, Jillian, go here, and I have.
I have seen your videos.
Okay, so you've seen the Photoshop videos? Okay.
I have.
Because I do have a section for, like this is what we do in that digital painting class, right? I teach them how to paint characters like this. This is called flatting. It's a cel-shaded technique. And then
I've done that way before.
oh, cool.
I forget sometimes.
There's
Do you
a
have
playlist.
Photoshop, Brian?
Yeah, I have to see the
But do this playlist right here, Jillian.
PC.
This playlist right here, Jillian will show you everything
Okay.
you need to know.
I'll go through it.
Eventually, I will do a playlist called Photoshop for 3D artists where I show people how to use the PSD network, take it into Photoshop and paint. I may use this semester to do that. You know what I mean?
That would be cool.
But this was more designed for people to do, people wanted to do character drawing and character painting. I show them how to use the transform tool to quickly create some, shading and stuff like that. And then you go and you paint your own stuff.
I have a quick Maya question, just because it's on the top of my head.
Why
Actually.
not?
So my teacher, right now, he's just like, okay, just send me like .ma files. What's the difference between a .ma?
Maya binary and
yeah.
Maya ASCII.
Yeah.
Maya binary, zeros and ones, right? And Maya ASCII is all literally code. It's like Mel script.
Okay.
Mel is my electronic language. With an ASCII file, if you know how to read code, you can go and find certain issues. With binary, you're stuck with zeros and ones. Yeah.
Okay.
I learned the history of the power button. It's zeros and ones.
Is the binary a smaller file? Is that the benefit?
Binary is very light, and ASCII is heavier because there's a lot of code. So you got zeros and ones. This is why the on and off button is like this, zeros and ones. There's a couple. I've been reading this book on. I've been
We're the
reading
tech guys, and we don't know that. Oh no.
I've been reading this book on symbolism, and a couple of the stuff I'm like, every night I'm like.
That's so great.
I hope Alexander takes the class back because that guy was awesome.
Yeah.
We had a student, and I throw stuff like this, and once in a while I throw, hey, do you guys know this? And I don't know what I showed him that day. He's a really tall dude. He looks like the guy from Game of Thrones, Hodor. He looks like Hodor.
Okay.
And he and one day I don't know what I showed him, and everyone was like, "Oh, that's awesome!" And he just goes, "This is from behind the scene teaks." And ever since that day, I go, guys, if I blow your mind, do this because it makes me laugh. It's just, and then once in a while, somebody will go, "Hey, did you know this?" And I just go. Feels like that is the dumbest shit ever.
It's easier than words.
Yeah.
I'm blown away. It's like. Anywho, so.
That one, and then I'm still proud of my slow clap. Like your reaction the first time I slow clapped at something you said.
But that's hilarious. You guys know that? Somebody says something and you just go. I do that all of the time. When I was a kid, I told my brother, "Hey, have you ever heard the sound of a one-hand clap?" No, and you smack them.
I actually can do the one hand thing.
Yeah, some people can do it. I used to be able to do it.
Yeah,
it's hard.
Repeatedly.
You can get it like it slaps really loud.
Yeah,
But
you go like it's almost like a whip. Yeah.
Yeah.
There you
It's cheap.
go. If people could see us on video right
I
now.
know.
What are they
Oh, no.
doing?
Oh, yeah.
Cool. Awesome. Brian, any more questions? Brian's like, what? Oh, this is what he sees.
Join in.
He's over there going.
Guys, you're not here.
He's-
Yeah, I can't see anything, so like I can only hear like sounds. Oh, yeah. Let's see. So the UVs are okay, right?
Yeah, you know what? The UVs are fine. I'm just saying that the next time, just be aware that the more you make things symmetrical, the better you're gonna be off. The better you're gonna be.
Okay.
It's lighter. Start thinking like that. That's why you're gonna see a lot of stuff in video games out of nowhere, right? They're gonna have this right here. Crap! I'm on a PC. You will notice this right here. Again, I love this tool, which is the insert edge loop tool. But if you go right mouse button, come on, Frank, edge, shift, right mouse button, and you go to the insert edge loop tool options, make sure that you select use equal multiplier and you select it to 1, meaning you're saying cut it in half. So no matter where you click on this edge, it's always gonna put that thing in the middle. See, it puts it in the middle. So this is really good to find the middle of your object. Does that make sense?
Yes.
See, click here, click here, and that way, then you do UVs from this side, and then you project them to the other side. Same thing here.
Oh, that's really useful.
Yeah, it's really useful. I love this trick right here, because then I was like, dude, get rid of this, and my buddy was like, no, we use this to flip this, and I did. Again, one of those. Looks awesome. And then you see what happens? I added those extra stuff. And then when you look at the, where's my UV? Here you go. When you look at the UVs now, you'll notice that by just adding these UVs, let me get rid of the grid. By just adding this, this extra loop right here, you're not altering your texture. The texture looks the same, right? Okay. But now what you can do is you can select this edge right here, right? You can cut it. So I can go to, where's my cut tool? There you go. So I can cut it.
Have you guys already taken all the props and placed them?
Not yet, no. Yeah, we can start doing that this week.
And then you can flip this side to this other side, and then they can share it. Again, because this has letters, half of the letters will be flipped. But if it's just textures, you just think, okay, I'm gonna paint this refrigerator all rusted, but I want this side to be flipped to the other side. Does that make sense?
Okay.
Okay, let me.
And so, and to flip it, you just select one side and.
Yeah. So what you do is you select this shell right here. Now there are two different shells, one shell here, one shell. Select the shell, flip it, and with the move tool, just put it on top of it like this. I mean, ooh, they're pretty close. Now let me show you what it looks like. So now this object shares the texture on one side. And now you have the true Satan symbol. So you may be burned at the stake, but your object will be very light. Okay? But you see how one side of the texture can be applied to the other one? If this was a refrigerator, think of a rusted refrigerator. It's mostly going to be shiny. The corners are going to have rust, and then you're going to have patches here and there. As long as you don't put the patches so that they look symmetrical, you'll be golden. You know what I mean? But now, look at the UVs. Look how much room you've saved. Let's open this up. That did not work because I don't have anything selected. Object, UVs. Now, look, check this out. Because I flipped this, I have this whole area empty. So I can make this bigger. I can put another prop right here. So you have a tire, you can put the tire here. This could be flipped over here. This could be flipped over here. This could be flipped over here. Even this could be flipped over here, and then these guys on their own and put it. And then you have this whole empty area that you can put the UVs for another prop. You know what I mean? And so now you have one shader that's going to go to two assets. You know, but theoretically, you've cut your textures in half, or you've made your video game prop twice as fast to load.
Okay.
And those are tricks that were developed by the video game industry because they were like, you know, I need more UV space. You know, cut it in half. Are you crazy? Do it. Oh my God, it worked. And then a room of 50 people going.
And so and the UV shows like having it like not perfectly like aligned is okay, right?
Yeah. If this is rotated this angle, it doesn't matter as long as they align correctly. And again, the thing with this right here is that.
So we're gonna have to take off in a minute here.
Oh,
Oh,
sure.
okay, yeah.
Yeah.
We have to salvage.
So for you guys then, can you put our props in their spots and then write a list? I mean, we will save everything high detail anyways to start.
Mhm.
But if you want to start putting a list together, so we can kind of just give you what we think will be right, and then that will kind of gives a great starting point for the texturing.
Yeah, sure.
Cool. Thank you so much for coming all the way out here. I know
It's fun. Yeah, I enjoy coming out and seeing everyone. So
Nice.
I'm in the
Yeah,
same
good to see you guys. We haven't seen you guys in a long time.
it's rough. But yeah, hopefully next week's our very first week of class. So hopefully some of our older people will be back, and the week after that, I'm hoping to get some newbies from the classes that are coming in. So,
okay, cool.
New faces, hopefully.
When you say list,
Just a list of the stuff that might need like higher or lower resolutions.
I mean, there's the ones that are obvious, like Eugene. But you got all the little things. What random stuff?
Like if we could be like, we can make the car a lower resolution.
Yeah, that's why you guys should think strategically where things are posed. It would not hurt to create a map, like an overview of the game, and create different zones. Red means that you're not gonna get close to. Blue means that you may get close, but not like from here to here. That's your medium. And then the green is like you're gonna be touching it. You know what I mean? And that way, whatever you guys place it, where the battlefield is, where the game is, where the house is, whatever you guys place that, then you go, okay, all these props right here, right? And the layout shows that they're red, so the texture can be 256 by 256, right? From afar, they're gonna look great, you know. That's you know.
Yeah, sounds good.
Cool.
Cool.
awesome.
Awesome.
Yeah,
Yeah, thank you.
yeah, I think
It should be
traffic
good
should
now.
be, yeah, it should be fine.
Traffic's cleared up now.
I mean,
Awesome.
Let us know too if there's anything you need. I know that you guys are kind of back in school now, so we'll be able to communicate more.
Yeah.
But you let us know if you need something from us, and then also if you need us to go meet at your school instead.
All right,
okay,
sure.
yeah, we'll let you know about that. Yeah.
Awesome. All right. Bye, guys.
Bye.
Have a good night.
You too. Cool. How are we doing?
That sword looks like flames.
Trying to include
Flame
the
sword.
Movement.
movement in
Mhm.
the animation. I'm not sure if that's something we can do.
I would do a
Stretching
stat.
the sword.
No, no, because then you have to do a rig that has different bones and it's heavy. I would just straight.
Key poses.
Sure, we have.
Straight, okay.
Do we even need
But-
it in between? Like just
that's-
key poses, right?
Yeah, the in
That's
between probably
probably,
would help.
Okay.
but I'm more worried
this is
about
just standard
Yeah.
anticipation move, like hit, and then it would go back to standard. Like, cause you want the like hit
Yeah.
to have force, so it'd be really fast. That's why I tried to put the stretch in there, but we can do without that, I guess.
Mhm.
I don't actually know how it translates to 3D. So,
We'll experiment. We'll have the animator see what
but
they can
this
do
is
with it.
probably what it would look like if I did those animation poses.
Okay. Cool. Awesome.
Very, very rough.
Very rough. Yeah, it's
A little better because I won't be doing it with dry erase.
it's just a pose guide for the animators.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Because if not, they'll probably do this, which could be
Yeah,
the
that's why I was
tired
doing this
eating
at the
pose.
wall.
I'm tired.
That's why I've been doing this at the wall for the past 20 minutes.
Oh God, I had an aunt who she just couldn't put herself through the pain of putting her dog down. And so she just let it live and live and live. And it got to the point where it couldn't even turn.
Oh,
Like it would walk and walk and walk and it would just walk into a wall and it would just keep walking into the wall.
oh.
It would like
That's
get
sad.
confused and then walk into the wall again. It's like, oh, that's so sad.
It gets to a point that there's that balance of having the animal live in misery.
Did you want me to save this for your reference, Brian? Are you okay?
Yeah, sure.
Okay.
Yeah, I guess. Let's see. So the UVs are finished, and now it's just now all you have to do is paint it, right?
Yeah. If you wanted to start playing around with painting, is that something that you wanted to do?
Oh yeah, I have Photoshop and
Okay. You can start playing around with painting if you like, or I know you've got the two other merchants to work on too.
Right.
The merchants, I mean, I am expecting more people to come back and they'll probably be more likely to do texturing and such. So I would probably focus on the characters first, but feel free to play around with this too.
Okay.
But out of the two, I think characters are going to be more important.
Okay.
Awesome. Cool. I'm going to save this. Where am I right now? 3D assets environment.
Okay, so now the to-do list is to finish working on the smith and the trap.
Yeah. Perfect. Cool. All right.
Is there anything else in the environment?
Not that doesn't belong to somebody who's still part of the team. So for now, I would say that we're done with UVs on the props, unless one of the other people say I've got too much and I can't do it. So yeah, I think for now, just the modeling the characters, and then if you want to play with coloring.
Okay, and so if one of the members kind of like want to stop on UVing, then I can take over.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay.
Let's see. Let me look at the environments again.
Right, I saw Mark's van.
Oh, great!
Really cool.
That's right. He said he uploaded this, but I didn't look at it.
Really cool.
He's got coloring too. Yeah, I like that color a lot, actually. The blue.
So that's the sort of style we're going for.
Yeah. Now for your cars, they're already have the interior designed, and I like that about them. I like the fact that you can see inside and you can see the steering wheel and stuff. So maybe for these, we might just leave the windows off.
Yeah, like the glass has been broken for a long time.
Maybe we can add in a just like a little poly right there, so that it's like a broken piece of glass or something. But I like the fact that you can see inside these vehicles. So I wouldn't follow. Mark's looks kind of new. It looks new and unused and pretty. So it's like there's no broken glass or anything. We might have to add some broken glass or something in here, because you can see the bumper is broken. So maybe a little bit of rust and some broken glass, but yours, the windows can be like 100% gone.
Okay.
Coolio. All right, well, I'm going to stop the recording. I think we're pretty much done here, so.
Okay. Then, okay, I should, okay,